welcome to Quelling Your Query Conundrums. I got it right this time with Lane Haymont and Ann Rose. We're wearing the same clothes as last week because we're doing like 85 of these in a row. We're not dirty people who don't shower, okay? Just putting that out there. Ann Rose, take it away.
This is our third episode for today, right? It feels like 87.
Yeah.
But yes, that is why we look the same as last week and the week before. So we're doing a few of these in a row. This week, I am on vacation when you're going to post this, if you post these in order. So
Now I'm not gonna.
Okay, well, if you do, this week I would officially be a potato. So it would be amazing. So there you go. And starting off, we're going to just thank everyone out there who has been sending in your query letters for us to review. Lane is going to pop up that email right here below for you to keep sending them in. And the brilliant idea we came up with last week was that if you have specific questions that you would like to have answered when you send in your query letter, go ahead and include those in your email. And then that way we can address those questions as we go, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, we're going to try to do better than we did last week on this query. And hopefully last week was great, but we're going to try to do much better job this week. So we're just going to get right to it. So here we go. It says, Dear Ann, I read that you are looking for dark, edgy, feminist stories with characters that aren't afraid to stand up for themselves. I'm excited to share my manuscript title, a 90,000 word adult thriller with a romance subgenre narrated in alternating viewpoints between past and present. It combines the maternal desperation and dark secrets of Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier, with a mother's criminal activity challenging her ability to protect her children, similar to Never Far Away by Michael Koryota. See, I told you, I'm terrible at reading, and especially reading names, so apologies. Okay, getting into it. Jane Davenport thought she was free from the Brooklyn kingpins, BKP, who kidnapped her, free from the Brooklyn kingpins, BKP, who kidnapped her, free from the crime she committed, and most importantly, free from the gang's leader. But when the gang abducts her daughter, Olivia, overnight, Jane must face her dark past to rescue her. When Nathan, a gang member from her past, shows up at her door, he offers to help find Olivia. After devising Jane's escape from BKP 2 years ago, he vanished, and because he's cracked too many skulls and knows of her crime, Jane is scared his sudden reappearance could be a ploy to deliver her back to Brooklyn. Knowing she can't rescue her daughter alone, she accepts his help and soon rediscovers her old feelings for him. With every obstacle threatening to expose her, Jane must decide if she can trust Nathan to help her infiltrate the gang while balancing the life of her daughter and a secret that could ruin her. Failure could cost everyone their life. And then there is the bio. So this one was much quicker than the last two.
It's a thriller.
It is a thriller. So, all right, let's start at the top. So it immediately gives us title, word count, genre, which is important. It kind of gives us a little bit like there's going to be romance here, so we know that. It tells us a little about the structural style of the book, which I thought was really helpful. That way we know what we're getting into. I thought the first paragraph was fine and worked really well. Not that you have to tell me why you're sending it to me. When you do send me something that says dark, edgy feminist stories, I'm already kind of in personally. So there's your hot tip for the day. How about you, Lane? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I love dark thriller feminist stuff, but to be fair, I would always send it to you because you're much better at it, and I defer to your expertise.
Fair. I don't know if I'm better at it, but I do enjoy it. So,
yeah.
All right. So first, this is actually one big paragraph, and I kind of separated it because it felt a little long. So I kind of separated up just a little bit. So we'll start with Jane. So Jane Davenport thought she was free from the Brooklyn Kingpins, which I can never say, BKP, who kidnapped her, blah, blah, blah. So I think it does a really good job of setting things up for Jane and like in kind of giving a little bit of her history, and then immediately, this crime syndicate, I'm assuming, comes and kidnaps her daughter. And so obviously as a mom too, I immediately understand like what's at stake. Even before I even get to the stakes, I understand what's at stake here in this particular story. So I thought that worked out really well. Lane?
Yeah, I wonder why they kidnapped her and what for. And I get more that they would kidnap the daughter to get back at her, but we still don't have a why. And I'm left wondering why.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I kind of made a note to myself about that later on too, because then we find out about Nathan, right? Like Nathan's this guy from her past. She had a crush on him, or they were together, or there was some sort of romantic something happening, but he knows way too much about her. He's going to help. Is he there for nefarious reasons? Is he not? Yada, yada, yada. But my question was, after I got finished with this, is that if I changed out some of these names, would this just be any thriller?
Interesting.
Right? Like it would, if it's not Jane, it's Susie. Susie is now trying to get away from her ex-husband who, wants to get her back. And she's done some things in her past she's not really, proud of. But then he kidnaps their daughter, and now she has to get him back. She has to get her back, right? Like I could just swap out a couple little things. And it's the same story, but it's different. And so what I'm missing from this particular query is, why is this story different?
Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Because I was going to ask, do you think it's the story or the structure of the query? And it sounds more like it's the story.
It might be.
But I mean, obviously we can't say without reading.
Right.
But like you said, I think it's important to get across what's different.
Right. Like
in the query.
What are these secrets? I mean, great. She has secrets that could ruin her past. Like, I think I see that all the time in query letters. I'm sure Lane sees it all the time in query letters. So we just need more hints about like about some specifics here about this particular person, about her particular crimes, that is going to make it be like, oh, okay, so that's what's different about this story. Because right now, as it reads, I think it reads a little bit similar, like what you would see out there. So it doesn't seem to have that hook, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if I would want to know what her previous crimes are too, because maybe that'll make it different. Maybe she was the leader of a gang. I mean, you don't see that very often.
True.
Maybe she was the capo or the enforcer and killed a bunch of people, or and it depends what kind of gang are we talking about. Are we talking about a street gang, or are we talking about like the mafia? Because that's, a gang.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that I do get quite a number of female assassin books. So, and I'm not complaining. Okay. Keep them coming. Like, I'm totally fine with that. So so that wouldn't be super unique in what I see, right? Like, just because she was a killer before, like even in YA, I get a lot of female assassin books. Again, which I'm here for. So I want to know what makes this one different, because I think that there's a lot of stakes here. I think there's a lot of intrigue here, but at the same time, I'm not seeing what's unique about it.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
I will add also one more thing that there is in the bio section. There's like this joke that I think the author is trying to tell in the bio, which I'm here for jokes, but I don't think it's landing quite the way the author intends it to. And so I would suggest to just take a look at that and kind of reconsider like the phrasing, because it doesn't quite land, I think, the way you're hoping it's going to land. In what way? I can't really say without it being very specific. So the author
is it offensive?
No, I mean, it's just I think it's one of those things that's supposed to be funny, but it just doesn't land as super funny, if that makes sense.
Sounds like my afternoon.
I can tell you about it off air, but I won't tell you about it on air because I don't want to embarrass the author, and I don't want to call out who it is, obviously, because that's not what this is for. So that's all. Fair?
Fair.
Okay. So that's it. That's our third one. That was a quick one because it wasn't as long as the other two. So
No, and I think thrillers are much easier, and I don't want to say they're easier, but they're easier to dissect because they're a lot more straightforward. Just like, they're quick paced. The chapters are a lot shorter. I think they're just fun thrill rides.
I agree. I love a good thriller. So hopefully, author, whoever you are out there, you can take something from this and hopefully it'll help you out with your query letter. Just give us some more details. Give us, what it is about this story that's a little bit more unique, or what's the hook of this one that's going to make it stand out from all the other ones that are out there on the market. Like, that's the big, I think, takeaway for you from this. Again, of course, I would dive into the pages because you hit some themes that I really like here. So I would check it out regardless. But just to help hook in some more agents that don't always necessarily look at pages, I would just consider making some of those small changes. So there you go. So you have been with us. You've been with Lane Haymont and Ann Rose here for Quelling Your Query Conundrum. So if you have a query that you have a conundrum about, go ahead and email it to us at this link again below, and hopefully we will answer your questions. Also include those questions in your query letter if you have specific ones you want us to address, and we will do our best in making that happen for you. If you have, also, we would love to hear it if you think these are helpful, not helpful, anything, any feedback you want to provide. We'd love to hear from you. So go ahead and leave a comment, like, subscribe. What's another thing you can do today? Don't forget to do your dishes. I don't know. So that's it. Have a good one. Till next time.
Peace.